there again. Good to be with you for Thought for the Week. We're looking at the book of Acts. It's a remarkable book, isn't it? Written by a very remarkable man, a physician, a Greek physician called Luke. He was the great friend of the Apostle Paul. And in later life, he was called upon to write a definitive account of the gospel itself. So he did that in his gospel according to Luke, and also to speak about the credentials of the Apostle Paul, we believe, when Paul was about to be tried for his faith in Rome. And that is the background for Acts of Apostles. Notice that I don't use the definite article there. I don't call the book the Acts of the Apostles, because to do that limits the acts that they did in the early church and also limits those who could perform them. It wasn't the prerogative of the apostles, although they certainly did remarkable things, but it was the church that was equipped to take the kingdom from Satan and transfer it to the Lord Jesus. That is the task of the church. We call it spiritual warfare, but it embraces things like evangelism, transferring people from the kingdom of darkness into the kingdom of light. It includes things like healing. It includes so many things, and they all need to be seen in that context. It is all spiritual warfare, and we have to be on our toes the whole time in order to see the victory of Jesus established. Well, one of the things I think you may have noticed as we've been doing these studies, and indeed in your personal studies in the book of Acts, is that there seems to be a mismatch between the church as we know it and the church as we discover it in the Acts of Apostles. It really is very clear that many of the things they did, we no longer seem to do. And many of the things we do, you simply won't find in the book of Acts. So it's all rather frustrating in a way until you come to terms with the fact that we are not called to be religious. We're called to be disciples of Jesus, who hear him and who obey him. That's a simple definition of a disciple, one who hears and one who follows. And that should be the description for us too, because our lives are meant to be lives of obedience to Jesus, where we're doing only what he wants us to do in the way he wants us to do it. Well, I think we've all been rather impressed with the remarkable incidents that we've been looking at. And you'll remember last time, at any rate, I hope you'll remember, that we were talking about the ministry of the apostles and how it ended up in their being put in prison. We're looking at Acts chapter 5. But after they were delivered miraculously, they went straight back to the temple and began to preach. Verse 25, someone came to the Sanhedrin and said, "Look, the men you put in jail are standing in the temple courts teaching the people." They went straight back to it. Why was that? Well, because fear would not stop them. And that's what I want to encourage you with this week. Don't let fear stop you in your tracks as you seek to bear testimony as a disciple of Jesus. That's our job. That's our responsibility, and it's our privilege. May the Lord bless you this week as you put those things into effect. Bye-bye for now.